Hey everyone, I'm excited today to bring you Josh York. Josh is the founder and CEO of GymGUYZ, which is the fastest growing and largest in-home and on-site personal training company in the world. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian. Very happy to be here. Excited.
Awesome. Yeah. From what I understand, you're a pretty quiet and reserved guy, right?
I'm like, I'm the guy who sits in the corner and doesn't really talk to people much, and that's kind of me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll see that today. Awesome. So talk to me about kind of your history about how did you end up like starting this company and where did it all begin?
I've always been into fitness and I always love helping people, love changing people's lives. But I always went back to the fact that I'm only as good as how many hours I can put in a day because, you eat what you kill. And I always compare trainers to personal trainers to doctors because, doctors are without patients are unemployed and trainers without clients are unemployed. And I used to always tell myself it's just not scalable being a personal trainer. How can I make money when I'm sleeping? And, for me, I was taught to go to school and get a 9-to-5 job, and that's what I did. I was making, high six figures as a personal trainer in my early teens, and I left that to take a $35,000 a year job in a marketing firm, working probably in the most negative, miserable environment I've ever seen in my life. And when you actually look up some of these stats, because I got really obsessed with the workforce and people who go to work, 90% of people drive to work committing spiritual suicide. Monday's the most hated day of the week. Sunday nights around 7 p.m., everyone develops anxiety. Wednesday's great's the halfway point, and Friday people are bouncing off the walls. Yeah, thank God it's Friday. It's Friday, and you live for 2 days a week. That's pretty horrible, and if you are feeling that, you're broken. And I was like, I can't do this. I got to go back into fitness. I went back into fitness. I always figure things out. The universe is always on my side. Every no always gets me closer to the yes. And I said, I'll figure it out. So I had to build up all my clients again. Obviously, I was very upset because I lost all of them. I gave them all up. And one client in particular, she would always come in late. One day she said to me, Josh, I wish you can come to my house. I just don't have any equipment. I was like, wow, this is the most simplest idea. No one has ever professionalized it. I'm going to do it. I came up with the name GymGUYZ. It's an acronym for Get You Motivated. Goals uniquely yours, zero excuses. And we're going to go out and service clients anywhere from their home office, pool park, place of worship, hospitals, senior homes, assisted living facilities, corporations, you name it. We're going to bring the workout to you. Today, we're the largest in the world. We service over thousands of cities throughout the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. We will be adding more countries this year, which we're very excited about. And we're touching on 30 states.
Okay. And how many franchisees, how many territories does that cover?
Franchise, we're just touching on about 200 territories and about 70 franchise owners.
Okay. Awesome. When did you start franchising?
2014.
Okay. And has it accelerated more recently, or is it kind of like a steady linear growth?
We blew up when we got started, and then got some real hard knocks of learning who's really the right person. And that you can't be selling franchises to everybody. I'll tell you that right now. You got to find the right fit. It's got to be the right person. They got to be well capitalized, and they got to be willing to put the work in. People think that this magical fairy dust is going to fall down from the sky, and you're just going to be making money left and right. No, you need to act.
That doesn't happen?
Yeah, Brian, it doesn't happen. No, you got to actually work. I know. I was shocked by that too. But yeah, so we had some challenging years, right? We fixed them. We figured out operations, made sure we had the right profile who we're going after, and last year was the largest year of growth we've ever had. We opened up in over 200 new cities, sold and opened that year, and we will double that this year. And January is already taken off to be a blockbuster of a month. So we're excited.
Awesome. Yeah. So as a franchisor, right? How do you determine that? What are some of the questions and the things that you look for now to determine, does someone have the grit? Can they overcome the adversity? Are they driven, or are they putting on a facade and they really just expect the fairy dust?
Yeah. So, it's really a good question. I always like to compare it to when police officers take their psychological tests and then you hear, some random officer pulls out a gun and shoots somebody, right? So you're not going to always get it right, but I've been pretty spot on, kind of just speaking with the person, figuring out a little bit, learning about what they like to do, their hobbies, what gets them fired up. There's profiling tests you could do, and some of that does help, and some of it is really strong. But you just kind of get a feeling.
A lot of it's get.
Yeah, you just kind of get a feel. I've gotten really good at it, and honestly, knocking on wood, the last 10 franchise owners who've come in, they're killing it. Yep.
And you do all the development too?
I am very involved in the process. I do have No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not doing all the development, but I am very involved in the process.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you get the high end. Once they're ready to roll, they're getting to you and you're getting the final
That is
stamp
correct. Yes.
approval. What's your favorite question to ask people?
Tell me like what you did yesterday. I always like to ask people that. Tell me, like I know it's a weird
Okay.
question.
Drank a six pack of beer. I watched a
Yeah, tell
football
me,
game.
what time you wake up? Like, walk me through your day. Like, I love to just hear about people's day. And
Okay. Yeah, that's a good
you
one.
could tell a
That's a good one.
lot. You could tell a lot from a person, but something I always gauge is like, would I have this person over at my house? Number one, and would I actually let them watch my children if I had to get out of the house? I ask myself that question, and if
Okay.
it's no, it's a no. That's it. I won't even move forward with them. Because honestly, people are not going to want to work for them. They're not going to be good leaders, and
Yeah.
that's probably the two most important things.
Does your wife know you have that
She does. She
qualification
does. Yeah, but
of
my wife knows I'm
franchisees?
crazy, so she just lets me.
Have you ever? You should tell her that you're gonna have some random franchisee come and watch your kids one
Yeah,
night and
it's
see
not a
what she
bad
says.
idea. She'd probably tell me I'm crazy, but she knows I'm crazy, so it's all right.
That's funny. Awesome. So let's dive into the business model a little bit more. So you're bringing the gym to them. What does that look like? What type of equipment and tools and
Absolutely,
all
yeah.
the
So we
stuff?
come in our fully loaded van, stocked with over 365 pieces of equipment. We like to break it down one for each day of the year. We got everything in there from weights, body bars, resistance bands, pool equipment, aerobic equipment, cardio equipment, step boxes, plyometrics, isometrics, you name it. Everything's in that van. And based on obviously that workout that day, we're going to provide those three C's for convenient, customizing, creative, and give you a fantastic workout based on your customized program that you got during your assessment. And go out there and change lives because that's what we do. We help people.
Okay, awesome. So going to the home, is it? So I guess let's back up a second. So customer wise, we're going to home. You said on site. You listed off like a whole bunch of
Yeah,
other places you go. So kind of what's the mix? Maybe for a new franchisee starting out, and then what does the mix become
yeah.
once
When
they're
you start,
matured?
you're going to be, obviously in businesses, you're going to be, small businesses. You'll go into some assisted living facilities, some daycares. As you start really scaling, you get into the corporate side, and that's where it gets extremely lucrative. We have some very, very large business accounts, and that's where it starts really, you're helping people, and at the same time, you're bringing in a lot, which is great.
So you got the residential, your typical like husband and wife couple, or maybe some teenagers are involved, or whatever, and then you've got this B2B side that has a range. And so you said they're really lucrative. Can you give me an idea of like, I mean, whatever numbers you can share, but at least in the types of programs and the size of these types of
Yeah,
things you're
listen, we
doing?
have some large companies. Unfortunately, I can't disclose them or their NDAs, but some of them, we could be working, 8, 9 hours a day with them, 5 days a week. Um, some of them are in the facilities all day. Some, we're doing classes every single day, 40, 50 people a class. We have a big health department we work with in California. It's a 7-figure deal. It's a very, very big deal, and hundreds of employees. So it gets very large scale, and that's been a big focus of ours because we want to. Our mission is continue to helping people and changing lives, and we want to do it at a large scale, and that's what we're executing on.
How do they get those leads? Like, so that franchisee, health department of California, whatever city, how does he go
Yeah.
about getting that? Does you guys help with that, or door knocking, relationships? What's that
So
look
we
like?
help to some level, right? Because we do a lot of branding, and that helps, right? So you want to create I
Yeah.
call it, big time awareness, right? You want to be in their face, omnipresence awareness in the market. But then again, building relationships. That could be going to a chamber event. That could be going to a networking meeting. You got to show up. That's the problem. Most people are like, oh, you know what? I'll skip tonight. I'm tired. If you're tired, someone like me or someone like Brian is going to definitely eat your food because your food's gone. It's off the plate. We've eaten it already. Because at the end of the day, you don't show up,
Yep.
shame on you. You think I want to show up every time? You think I love going to all these meetings all the time? No, of course not. No one does. But that's the difference if you want to win. And the top people always show up, no matter what. No excuses.
Yep. Yep. So they go to these meetings, they find these guys. Uh, a lot of times, is the business looking for a health and wellness, or is it your guy saying, "Hey, do you
Yep.
have this? Let me paint the picture for you," and then they get the wheels start turning. Like, which
That is a
direction does it go?
great, great question. So most of the time, no. Most of the time, they're not looking for it, right? But you don't realize what happens to the productivity in the workplace. You don't realize around 1, 2 o'clock, things start to decline. You don't
Oh yeah.
realize what it does to spark up your company. You don't realize what it does to your health insurance costs. You don't realize what it does with just people in general and the culture it creates. It's game changing to a business. And when people start to get a taste of it and realize it, they're like, oh my God, how do we not have this? And once you incorporate it, like a lot of companies used us to bring people back to the office. They were excited that now they're getting fitness in. And look, not everyone's going to wake up at 3:29 in the morning like me every day. People are going to, I always tell people exercise early in the morning because as the day starts to unfold and things get crazy, you're going to find excuses not to go later in the day. And, you need someone to hold you accountable. And that's why the majority of things in fitness die and they're all fads because they're not going to last. Like accountability and human interaction is never going anywhere.
Yep. So you get this big company, they've got, I don't know, 200 employees, they're in some big office building downtown, and you're going to them, you're saying, hey, we'll do a program, from 1 to 2 o'clock or whatever time, we're going to run an hour, whatever, it's in the type of work, it's like a group class got to change, sign up if you want to join. Like, what does it kind of look like for the employees?
Yeah, it's really simple. Like, you go into an organization, be like, hey, listen, I have like something so incredible, and you got to think like people say, oh, think outside the box. No, you need to think like there's no box, right? You need to be super creative how you get the foot in the door there and make sure you're talking to the right person and say, listen, what if I told you I can literally increase your culture like through the roof, have more productivity and literally people bouncing off the walls, getting work done and your company's just moving like a freight train? What would you say? And people do what you just did. Yeah. They start smiling. Right.
Yeah. They say, all right,
or if you say, oh, how you doing? My name is Josh and, I'm from a mobile fitness company and we're a franchise and we offer, B2B business. And no, it doesn't work like that. You do what I just said. People get fired up and they get excited and be like, all right, tell me about it. And you do your thing and they're like, wow. And guess what? You know what? First one's free. But you know what? If you actually give me 10 jumping jacks right now, the second one's going to be free too. They start smiling again. Boom. Now you get in there. That's it. Once it's in there, it's over.
Yep. Awesome. So what do they get for an 8-hour session or an 8-hour contract for a week, or like what are some of the rates of how do you price these things out?
It's sometimes the employer pays 100%, sometimes they do a 50-50 split with the employee, sometimes it's 60-40, 70-30 ranges, but it could be $10, $15, $20 a head depending on the amount of people that attend the class. And in some scenarios they might just do a flat fee if they get X amount of people over a certain amount and they commit and they do a year contract. So it's different. And we have companies doing it in person. We have companies doing it virtually. So we offer all those options.
Okay. And so from a franchisee, let's back up a little bit now to the higher level. That's great kind of detail. So I'm a franchisee. How big is a single territory?
So all of our territories are based on approved households. So a single territory is 30,000 approved households. That's based on psychographics and demographics that we do. And we use obviously a high level marketing.
And income and you need high income people, right?
Correct. It's based on cost of living and obviously, the area. We're not going to go into very, very rural areas because it's not going to work. So that's how we develop those territories. The majority of people do multi territories for growth purposes. So they'll do 3 territories, which would be 90,000 approved households. And obviously within those households, you then have businesses and schools and senior living facilities. And, we have now some partnerships with we're running PE programs for schools right now. Okay. We're running, full blown out, senior, educational and movement courses with communities and developments. We're in a lot of condo complexes and so on and so forth. So we're running those programs and literally taking it through A to Z. So it takes the work away from the facility.
Yep. All right. So you said most people are buying 2 or 3. They get, whatever, 90,000 approved household. What's 3 territories?
Yeah, 3 territories, like all in with investment and everything. It's just a little under 200,000.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's a solid number. And then, so you start, obviously you got to have personal trainers, right? What is day one? I guess they're going out, they're getting 1, 2 personal trainers kind of on their team.
Start with 1, you build from there. But see, that was always a challenge for us. So we started a program where we help and assist vetting, screening, onboarding, and we have partnerships with all the largest certification platforms in the world, and all the trainers just come right to us. Because you know what? I was a personal trainer, and personal trainers look at personal training as a job. Well, you actually have a career path here. You can start as a personal trainer, part-time, go to full-time, go to a territory manager, go to an area manager, go to a general manager, and then we have franchise owners giving equity to trainers without putting any money in. All they're putting in is hard sweat equity. And now they're having opportunities to make real money.
Yep. That's awesome. Yeah. I think that everyone's looking for that progress, right? Tony Robbins is like progress equals happiness. And I think, to provide that path within an organization is awesome. So you do, like, as the franchisor level, what percentage of the trainers are you hiring
So
for
we
the
don't
franchisees
we
or
don't hire
helping
them.
recruit?
We set up and pretty much lay it up for them.
Recruit
So
or
we
whatever.
recruit them and then pass it over and say, Brian, here you go. Here's 10 rock stars.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
leads.
we literally
Leads.
like take all the work out of it because you have to like think about how long it takes to hire somebody. You're doing an interview, doing a phone call. They don't show up. Next one, this one doesn't show up. This one's not a good fit. So we take care of all that hard work and literally give them the layup, and it makes things very easy.
Yep. Awesome. Who's your biggest how many does your biggest franchisee have territory wise?
Trainers,
Number of territories. Yeah,
uh,
and trainers.
16, 20, and I have some franchise owners with over 50 employees.
Okay. Yeah. That's a solid business. And then that's where that structure becomes where they can elevate, and you've got these district
Yeah,
managers.
you become a territory manager. You're involved in the assessment process. You're getting commissions. Like, look, the average salary for a personal trainer is $32,000 a year. There's people making six figures a year in a role like that. You're not going to get that anywhere. But the thing is, all right, wow, great, you're making six figures. The key is, can you make six figures and grow and have a career that's going to be sustainable and not die like some of these other brands out there? Because you don't hear about P90X, you don't hear about Tybo anymore. Like, these things come and go and they're fads. You want something that's going to be lifestyle oriented, and that's what our brand is all about. It's a lifestyle.
Yep. The Peloton's the most expensive coat rack, right?
Same with every treadmill, same with every bike. They're all, listen, when I hear that this one comes out with this technology, it's going to change the fitness game forever. I laugh at it, because what do you think people do with these pieces of technology and these products?
You mean tonal? Tonal's not going to change the world.
Man, these things, the people get excited, they buy them, they don't even use them. So it's like it's like an instant hit of like cash to the company, and it just starts slowly going down.
Yep. No, I feel it. I own a Peloton. I don't use it. I hire a personal trainer. I have a personal trainer. I go to twice a week, and I have a high level of accountability. I feel bad if I go and I don't want to go because I know like I'm taking money out of his pocket if I don't go.
You said it. It's all about accountability. Everyone probably listening to this call has ordered off Amazon the last 5 minutes, the last minute. The world we live in is convenience. That's not going anywhere, and this is why we're going to continue to keep winning.
Yep. So then how do you guys go about, I guess, vetting, training, developing the personal trainers, right? Because the customer doesn't have a good experience with that one-on-one. It's they're gonna quit, right, or find somebody else. So how do you go from like a product service level quality control?
So we are obsessed with providing the most exceptional customer service. When I tell you, our net promoter scores never dropped below a 90 in 15 years, ever. Now, some people might not be familiar with the NPS score. It's a net promoter score. It's a score rated by the consumer. Anything over 50 is considered world class. One of the best out there is Ritz-Carlton at a 74. We have literally never dropped below a 90 in the history of the company. We get a bad review, which doesn't happen very often. I literally personally call the person myself and do whatever I can to make it right, because I don't want them to be upset, number one. Honestly, I don't care about the review. I do, but I don't. I'm more concerned about making sure they're not unhappy. That's very important to me.
Yep.
But our training is very detailed, man. We have created such incredible online training as a tool for them to be able to utilize and use. We have a very in-depth GGU, which is our GymGUYZ University training. And just like athletes need conditioning, if they're not doing well, they get sent some random place for a conditioning stint. We're doing that monthly, right? We're also having monthly system-wide calls. So they have opportunities to be very engaged and learn and get educated and also connect with other people in the system. And then we have our annual convention, which we call the Recharge, which is the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, I bet.
So I write a little rap song every year, and I don't sing, but I write.
Can you do it?
I could play it for you. I don't sing it, but every year we recap the video, and the recap video is with the song. Okay. So the songs are incredible, man. I'm telling you, they could be hit records. They're that good.
You could do one. Come on.
We're scaling, growing like they said we would. Positivity makes it come true. We're changing lives, don't get it misunderstood, because we are GymGUYZ and we bring the workout to you. We got all these different songs, but at the end of the day,
that's awesome.
What another good lyric? Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's GymGUYZ. I forgot how we did that, but we got some really cool stuff. But you can check that out on YouTube. If you go to GymGUYZ on YouTube and watch some of our conference recaps,
Where are they at?
You just go right on YouTube, you'll see them.
No, like
Oh, we have
physically.
them all
Where
over
do
the
you have the
place. Last
conferences?
year we had it in Orlando. The year before that, we actually brought it back to Long Island, Arizona. We're possibly going to
Change it up.
Mexico actually this next one. So we'll see.
Okay. Good. And I think, one of the big things we talk about to people about is like, you got to find a franchise that matches the culture that you want to be part of. Like, it's a huge part of this is culture, right?
Absolutely.
And
Listen,
like, and for you guys, obviously you guys have a very unique culture, right? It's fun, it's energetic, it's high energy, it's sales driven, like it's outgoing. And for franchisees who are just like that, or owners that are just like that, I mean, they're going to love it. And if you're not, you're like, holy shit, like what did I sign up for?
I know, and it's funny you say that. It's really a very good point, Brian. Because here's the thing: like, I'm going to use this as an example. I went to a doc. I was trying to find a new doctor not too long ago. Just someone I could have, do a checkup, take blood, whatever. And I go to this guy, totally out of shape. Like his belly was so big that he couldn't see his feet. And
Yeah.
it was kind of cold out. I had a sweatshirt on. I guess he couldn't tell I was in shape. And he's like, I want to, talk to you about how important it is to exercise. Dude, as soon as he said that, I was done. I was like, but most people be like, oh, I know, doctor. Like, what?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. So the reason I'm saying this is
Yeah.
because you want to go into a franchise where the leader who's leading that ship is unstoppable. Like me, I will never be stopped. Like literally, you have a better chance of seeing elephants fly than me ever stopping, me ever losing.
I know.
That's a
I can
fact.
see that.
Okay, and you want to make sure when you're looking at a franchise, because look, you don't have to buy a gym, guys. You can buy any franchise. You want to buy what you're passionate about, but you want to make sure the leadership is there. Because if you're working with someone who's kind of like very low key, doesn't have the energy, can't take care of themselves, if I ripped off my shirt, I could be on the front page of any type of men's fitness magazine.
I'm not gonna
I'm
ask
not
you to do
doing
that.
that.
Don't
I
worry.
don't show the goods. But the point is that stuff's very important. Like you could tell a
Yeah.
lot of a person,
Nah.
like just like you might be observing me. I'm observing you when I'm in that process. But you got to preach and walk
Yeah.
in and talk it. You can't just be, say, oh yeah, okay. Like I can't even believe that doctor I went to. He's like a very popular doctor. I would never go to him ever.
Yeah. That's what I provide, people about this whole like due diligence checklist and like, what do you look for? And, leadership is literally like the first thing. And looking at leadership, not only, do they have industry knowledge, right? They have like, in your case, it's fitness, right? Like, or is it painting or restoration, whatever. And then they have franchising knowledge, right? And experience and teaming. Do they know marketing and sales and how to build a team and how to train and like, because you get these brands and they have one, but they don't have the other, right? And like you need both to be
100%.
successful. And so I think that's critical. And then like the culture, the leadership team, like how do they react to situations when COVID happens? Are they going to pivot and figure it out, or are they like, well, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and it'll be okay, I hope. And so that's all part of it, right?
Man, during COVID, like it got affected. We got affected very minimal.
Yeah, you go outside. Like for you guys, it's probably easier because you're just like, let's go outside instead of like, and I'll stand 10 feet away from
The
you.
problem is like look, pressure makes diamonds. Okay, if you don't have pressure in your life, you're not going to have a good life. You need pressure, but it's how you handle it too. And a lot of people fold like cheap chairs and can't handle it because they just literally, as soon as something turns tough, they're like, oh my god. Like you definitely do not want someone like that being a leader because it's not going to work.
Yep. So during COVID, did you have transition, I guess, franchisees buying other franchisees that were those folding chairs? Like, what did that look like
we had
then?
a couple of people that folded, and honestly, to be quite honest with you, I was very happy because they weren't the right fits anyway, and I remember one of them in particular, I'll never forget the call, called me up, screaming at me, yelling at me, telling me that this business model sucks, blah, 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 dies, I think I'd give you my entire life savings. I should follow up with him on that. If you ever had anyone come in this territory and do well, the person in that territory now does 7 figures a year, and they're very profitable. Very profitable. Margins range between 50 and 70%. Am I saying you're listening to this, you're going to do this? Absolutely not. But can you? Of course you can, but it's up to you. The bottom line is, the words you speak, what you put into your mind is very powerful. If you're going to be a positive person and you're going to think positive things, you've got the universe behind you and you're going to just win. You can't be stopped because things always work out. But if you want to be negative, it's not going to work out.
Yeah. You read, what's it called? Well, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes,
I'm sure you read that. And, it's one of the, you sow seeds of negativity, right? You grow negativity, so seeds of positivity, you grow positive things, right? That book was written in like 1946 or whatever. Like these aren't
Listen,
new
I'm so
concepts.
serious about that, Brian, that I will literally, and I will cut off a family member if they're negative. I won't talk to them. I literally cut off
Yeah.
family members because I don't want them around me. I don't want them around my children. I don't want them around anyone. I don't want to be around them.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm the same way. Talk about some of the money stuff. Item 19, you guys break it a little bit differently. Sales per full time trainer company versus like, or actually, you just have company, right?
No, we
You
have
don't
company
franchisees yet.
franchisees.
Oh, there's franchisees.
We
Yeah, there
break.
you are. Yeah, so talk a little bit about that kind of that the metric, whatever you can say, and what that means, and like how do you
Yeah,
extrapolate this
so
out?
we used to do it where we broke it down, and then a lot of people like the biggest question we used to always get is how much can a trainer bring in revenue. So we decided to change it because it's easier to kind of understand and look. But average locations have 5 to 7 trainers. Trainers could bring in
Yep.
we have top locations. Trainers bringing in 240,000 a year. That's for one trainer, right? Per
Per trainer.
trainer.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you know,
So if you got 4, you're bringing in a
just think about
million
the
or
numbers
whatever,
with the
right?
guy's got 50, right? Like the numbers are crazy. The numbers really go. Now this is full-time trainers, right? But we do full-time equivalents. So if you have 2 part-time trainers, X amount of hours, they equal a full-time equivalent. But the numbers are incredible. But once again, you got to put the work in and you got to drive your business. But the greatest thing about the trainers is the opportunity, and that's what gets these people very, very excited. And listen, I get messages all the time on social media from trainers all over the system. We've already passed now 1,000 team members within our system, which is absolutely crazy. Even saying that, like when I see it on LinkedIn, that we have over 1,000 people at GymGUYZ.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
incredible, man. I've been, I was dreaming about that when I was sitting at my parents' dining room table, and I always knew it was going to come true. But we're giving everyone opportunity, and I love that because I was a trainer, right? I used to work in the gym and stare at those 4 walls and work a couple hours in the morning, then have nothing to do during lunch, and then I go back in the afternoon. I take a nap and go back at 3 o'clock, work till 9 o'clock, and it's the same thing every single day. And like I said, it's not scalable.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So you got in here. This is 2022, right? Open a full year, 81 locations, open 12 months or less, $100,000 in sales per trainer.
Yep.
Multiply that. How many trainers that generates revenue, and then obviously you got to pay the trainer. You've got other expenses,
Yep.
obviously. After, but yeah, 240 for the highest one. Who was open less than 12 months prior to that.
Yeah, listen, the numbers this year are going to be even crazier because some of the performance has been through the roof because we've really been focusing on helping these larger businesses and taking.
Yeah, the groups. So it's not a one-to-one, right? It's a one-to-many, and you can collect probably way more revenue per
exactly.
person.
Look, it all connects. Like you need it all, but at the end of the day, we want to take our sales from 3 to 4,000 a sale to 300 to 400,000 a sale. That's what we're doing right now. So that's really helping generate obviously the extreme amounts of revenue. Like if you see some of these numbers that are going to be listed for this year, you're going to have to look at it 3 times. You won't even believe it.
Is it same model, like same structure,
adjustment,
or you
very
change
similar
it?
though.
Yep, that's awesome. How quickly does someone get ramped up? So they launch this thing.
6
When do they
weeks.
launch from
6
signing
weeks.
to launch? 6 weeks. Okay, so 6 weeks they're rolling. They got their van, their red van. They got their 365 pieces of equipment. They're doing marketing. Like they're starting to generate revenue.
If they're driving their business, yeah, I have people, newer owners that just launched. They're doing crazy numbers already, crazy. They just started, and I'm so super proud of them. But what are they doing? They're showing up every day. They're literally at an event every single night, and they're working their butt up. But ask yourself this question: what would you rather do? Continue being miserable and unhappy for the rest of your life working where you're working, or would you say, you know what? Let me bust my butt for me for the next 3 years, nonstop. Come home every night, crash like I can't even keep my eyes open, and then be set for the rest of your life. What would you do? I know what Brian would do. I know what I would do.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yep.
It's that simple. And
Yep.
look, it took me 7 years to make $1 million. 7 years. People are doing it much faster now because the systems are in place. It's a model. It's there. You just got to follow it.
Yep. Yeah. I always talk about, franchising turns decades into days, right? Decades of training and experience and mistakes and all the shit you wish you would have known. And you pack that up into days of training. And so your decades of mistakes is now days of training. And the best franchisors have the best process in order to ramp someone up and teach them that and cut out all the mistakes.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So what does 2024 look like for GymGUYZ? Like what would be like a huge success in your mind at the end of the year?
Well, I'm going to tell you what it's exactly going to look like, not if or what. I'm going to tell you what.
Okay. I'm writing it down.
You can write it down. We will open up 300 to 350 new cities in 2024.
350 cities, but then one territory is multiple cities.
Oh yeah, it could be like 5, 6, 7.
It's like how many names they've got or
Correct,
whatever
yeah.
in the thing. Okay.
So, yeah, so
350 cities.
we
Okay.
will be servicing over 3,000 cities by this point at the end of this year. We will open up in another country or two, and we're going to continue really focusing very heavily on adding the additional revenue streams that we've been focused on for our franchise owners. Obviously, we have many revenue streams right now with new service we're launching, and we're going to continue focusing on that. So, those added revenue streams are going to add more revenue to them, and also get very heavy, big on the B2B to open up more national accounts for them as well. But it's going to be a very strong year. We have many, many solid strategic initiatives that we're going to be executing on, and it's exciting, man. It's very, very exciting.
That's awesome. The country, would you do like a master franchisee?
All
or would you
masters,
guys run
yeah,
it?
all masters.
You just sell the
Right,
rights and then get the royalty. Mexico?
I could listen.
It's got a conference down there, meeting some
That
other
could be
people.
good. That could be a good one. Yeah, got to find the right person, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck on that. Sounds like you're gonna figure it out, and that's
Thank you,
awesome.
Brian.
So, if anybody listening wants to learn more about GymGUYZ, best way, reach out to me through Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever. I can get you connected to Josh and his team. We also provide a bunch of those due diligence resources I spoke about earlier. If you decide to reach out to GymGUYZ directly, just make sure you tell them you heard about it here, and then you'll still get connected to my team, and we'll still provide you all that.
Yeah, Brian's very important. So, make sure you do, obviously, let me know.
Yep. And cool. Well, thanks again for coming on, sharing your story, sharing your energy, singing the song. I love it.
Who else is going to sing a song for you on the podcast?
No, you're the first. You're the first one. I had one. Yeah,
no, you're the first last. Not many people are going to sing. And I apologize. I'm not.
Nobody's threatened to take their shirt off.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say. I wasn't going to. I was just letting you know. I wasn't going to take my shirt off. I was letting you know.
Got it. But awesome, cool. It was nice chatting with you, and yeah,
perfect.
Connect later.
Thank you so much.